What we do here is go back. What we do here is go back. What we do here is go back.
one Sunday morning, all alone, with this song stuck in my head. And in that moment, something or someone spoke to me. They said there was still a verse that needed to be written for this song, and to get up and write it down. There's a book that's sitting in your house somewhere that could use some dusting off. There's a man who died for all our sins, hanging from the cross. You can give your life to Jesus, and he'll give you a second chance till you can't take it. If you got a chance, take it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome. This has been a show that has been in the making since this past weekend, and I'm finally getting around to doing it because I got so much to talk about. Why the hell is this thing talking? Fucking Facebook, goddamn. Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Tune In Live. This was a show that was supposed to go live this past weekend, like I said, but I had a lot of stuff going on, and plus gathering up a lot of information for you guys for today's show. And also, hopefully, I am gathering some people from over in the TikTok range. If you're here from TikTok and you're watching me live on YouTube, be sure to hit that like and follow down below. I'm also live on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ArrowENT. You guys want to support us over there as well. We've been live on there for about 6, 7, 8, 9 years maybe. Yeah, about 8 years, give or take. Something like that. So today's show is going to be really hot. If you guys want to call in, I've got the Discord up. Let me get into a channel right here. Let's see. It is connecting. And my fucking... there we go. Invite to voice. Who all's up in here? I don't see my boy Mike. Well, there's my boy Mike. He's away right now, so hopefully he will join in. You guys will hear him as well. If you want your voice, known, if you want to be on the show, come on in. Don't be afraid. We got some stuff to talk about. And yes, you were just hearing what was considered the third verse from the song "If You Can" by Richie. I forgot his last name, but you all know him as Kid Rock. Kid Rock performed this past weekend at the All-American halftime show for Turning Point. It is a special thing that was put together for Charlie Kirk, who was sadly murdered by the hands of a liberal during one of the events at a college last year. And it's very sad. It really is. With everything that's going on in this country right now, and everything, it revolves around liberals. It's like liberals are running the show, you know? Liberals don't care. They don't care, you know, either way. They hate you. Liberals hate you. Democrats hate you. They've always hated you. They've hated me, they hated you, they've hated everybody. If you're for Trump, if you're against Biden, whatever, they hate you. If you have a strong opinion about something, if you got an opinion about the LGBT alphabet army, if you got a strong opinion about Black Lives Matter, if you got a strong opinion about Antifa, if you got a strong opinion about pedophilia, Democrats hate you. They always have, and they always will. Democrats have been the most hated party since the 1800s. The Democrats were all for slavery. Democrats founded the KKK. Democrats murdered Abraham Lincoln, who freed the slaves, or signed the proclamation, I forgot what it was called. You know, he signed a bill saying, hey, you can't own slaves anymore. You know, you can't buy slaves, you can't own slaves, whatever. Who do you think shot JFK? Democrats and the CIA. Who do you think assassinated Martin Luther King Jr.? I had a little list of things here. I don't know where the hell it went. It might have been on Facebook I commented on. I can't remember. It was just like a list of things of what the Democrats did in the last 100, 200 years and such. But it's sickening that a single Democrat ended the life of one of America's patriots. You know, a real true Christian, a real patriot to the country. And he didn't have to do what he did. He went from college campus to college campus everywhere. He didn't really protest. He was there spreading the word. Everybody got a chance to mic up and voice their opinions. He never argued with them. He debated with them. It was a friendly debate. There was never any fighting or whatever. And yes, all the videos that you see online with Charlie Kirk debating Democrats in colleges, it's just so cringy, and it's so hilarious to watch because it's sad that this is our future. These college kids that are supposed to be our future doctors, our future lawyers, our future everything. And they're being brainwashed with the wrong type of information. And it's sickening. Charlie Kirk gave these people a voice everywhere he went. And yet one of those people took his life that day. One of those people murdered this innocent man in front of his wife and child and millions of fans and family out there. And it's really sickening. So we got to sit here and say, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. That show not only was for you, it was for America. It was for everything that Charlie believed in. It was for everything that we believe in as American patriots. And I will say, like, whether you like or hate Kid Rock, that show was a lot better. 110% better than what was given us on Super Bowl Sunday. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Super Bowl Sunday. You know, I heard from several different sources that even the game itself was terrible. The game itself was terrible. They said, who was it? The Eagles won or whoever it was. But they said the game was bad itself. It was dull and boring. Isn't a sporting event like that supposed to be exciting and get your spirits lifted? And like, hey, good old American fashion football, right? Well, this Super Bowl event, it wasn't like any other. And I will say this to my counterparts on TikTok, if you guys tune in, if you guys happen to check this out at all. I was on a live panel while I was at work last night, and we were talking about it. We were definitely talking. I definitely felt right in because with everything I talk about, you know, the way I feel about politics and such. And I stated, and everybody agreed in this panel, I stated that yes, this is an event, a once a year event that people either buy tickets to or they tune into every year around the same time to watch. They watch it for the football. They watch it for the commercials. They watch it for the halftime show. They watch it for any little surprises that's being left to them, you know? Anything and everything at all. This was a main event. It's like picking a concert that happens once a year and you can't wait to see it, you know? Did you know that people that went to the Super Bowl, that attended the Super Bowl, their tickets were as little as $3,000 or $4,000, guys? Can you imagine paying $3,000 minimal to go sit in a stadium and watch a complete shit show from a shit person who claims to be an American? Well, let's look into that. Is Puerto Rico and of course it's going to be in U.S. territory, so there is no denying that. But to to put you all at ease with this, and I know, and I will say this, Puerto Rico is not a United States. It's not a state. There are 50 states within this country. Puerto Rico is not one of them. But yes, Puerto Rico is in its unincorporated territory of the United States, officially designated as a commonwealth. Puerto Rico is a self-governing Caribbean archipelago, or I can't even pronounce that fucking word right, but it's self-governing under U.S. sovereignty, acquired from Spain in 1898 following the Spanish-American War and the Treaty of Paris. Its residents have been U.S. citizens since 1917 under the Jones-Shafforth Act. While Puerto Rico exercises substantial internal self-government, it remains subject in the to the U.S. Constitution in areas such as defense and foreign affairs, and it is not considered a U.S. state. There you go. It's within the territory, but for defense and foreign affairs. And yes, it did say the residents of Puerto Rico have been U.S. citizens since 1917 under the Jones-Shafforth or Shafforth, whatever that word is, Act. But the country itself, it remains subject under the Constitution in areas for defense and foreign affairs. The political and legal status of Puerto Rico is classified as unincorporated territory, meaning that the U.S. Constitution applies only partially, doesn't mean only or mostly, partially, unlike its incorporated territories where it applies fully. It is also organized as a commonwealth, which allows for a locally adopted constitution and elected government, including a governor and legislator. Despite this autonomy, Puerto Ricans cannot vote in U.S. presidential elections and have no voting representation in Congress, although they are subject to federal laws. So before anybody reeks a single statement from their filthy sewers, I want you all to re-listen to this or go look it up and reread it. Puerto Rico is not considered a U.S. state. Puerto Rican citizens cannot vote in U.S. presidential elections. So if you think Bad Bunny was the big star that opened you all up to something, it ain't. If you live in Puerto Rico, you're not going to vote for Donald Trump or whoever the next person is in 2028. You're not going to vote in this year's midterm elections. You're not. That's not how that works, Jack. Current implications for Puerto Rico. As a U.S. territory, Puerto Rico's residents enjoy U.S. citizenship and can freely move between the island and the mainland. However, they face limitations in federal political participation and representation, and the island's relationship to the U.S. continues to be subject to debate, including multiple referendums on potential statehood. Puerto Rico remains distinct from both U.S. states and independent nations, occupying a unique position in American federalism. So, to put it straight to you guys who see it as that, Puerto Rico is pretty much like the American embassy in other countries. You ever go to another country like Iran or Iraq, Australia, maybe somewhere in Europe or somewhere in Africa, somewhere where America has set up base, with an American embassy, which means they take over a certain part of the. Let's go to Nigeria. Let's go to Nigeria, for instance. Let's say the American government took refuge over in Nigeria and took over a set amount of base, so many acres, and set up base there, put a fence up around the perimeter. They got guards and such. Now that area is considered U.S. soil, or however that's however they put it. They don't own Nigeria. Nigeria is not American based. They have a base in Nigeria. When you're outside that fort, you're in Nigeria. Where you're inside that fort, past them guards, you're on American soil. You're on U.S. soil. That's how that works. That's basically what Puerto Rico is. It's basically like the American embassy in a sense. We're using Puerto Rico for resources. Now, yes, even though it's considered American territory, and U.S. and citizens down in Puerto Rico can be considered American citizens. However, it's not one of the United States. It's not a state within the country. And they are not allowed to vote or do anything of that nature. And they have limitations. That is where the American people fall short of understanding the whole thing with Puerto Rico. So you got this terrible, terrible fucking performer who has been selected by the NFL. Selected by the NFL. What the fuck was his name? Goodell? What the fuck was his name? Roger Goodell. Yeah. Owner of the NFL. Owner of 32 teams. Commissioner Roger Goodell. He's the one responsible for all this. He's the one who's going to be facing heavy fines for all this. He's the one who's facing a ton of backlash for all this. Let's see, Super Bowl and halftime. Let's see, halftime show numbers 2026. I want to see the numbers for this, because I will pull it up here in a little bit. So Roger Goodell, he has Bad Bunny come on to the show, and I didn't watch it at all. I didn't watch the game at all. I didn't watch any of it. Like last year, I watched some of it, and I will tell you this: I've watched some of one of the playoff shows, and I watched some of the Super Bowl itself, but not mostly. Like, I could sit here and I could pop in Madden any day of the week and play some Madden. I could play the football game. I love doing that. I just can't get into watching football, though. I just can't. There's something about it, I can't get into watch sports. That's how I've always been. But I will say this. 3 of the last games last season, last year, I could have been a millionaire because I guessed the winner of all 3 games. The Chiefs, the Lions, and then the Chiefs again for the Super Bowl. Because that whole big fiasco was one big Taylor Swift advertisement. Because Taylor Swift was dating Kelsey of the Kansas City Chiefs. She was at the Super Bowl. And guess what? During the Chiefs-Ravens playoff game, who mostly did you see on TV screen? Taylor Swift up in the fucking box. During the Super Bowl, who'd you see? Taylor Swift up in the fucking box. Yeah, that fucking box. That's like, what, $10,000 to get in there with a ticket and sit in that nice little cozy box where you're nice and warm and you can eat all the food you want and get drunk and shit and probably ass fuck each other in a conga line with nobody knowing. Yeah. It was all about Taylor Swift last year. And then, of course, they came out and said, we're engaged to be married. Oh. I even mentioned several fucking times. The games are rigged. The NFL is rigged. It's like a shoddy WWE script. Everybody knows now. Oh, they already have selected the teams. In fact, somebody I talked to on TikTok last night, we were talking about that too, and he said he saw somewhere a poster somewhere where it looked like two little icons down in the corner of the poster for next year's Super Bowl or predictions. One of the icons is the Dolphins. So I guess we're predicting that the Dolphins going to play somebody next year at the Super Bowl. Everything's already rigged. Everything's already rigged, you know? Just like somebody pointed out in this year's Super Bowl poster. When they looked at it, and you see all the players standing outside the stadium, and you could see certain names on the players. It's like, oh. And this was predicted well before the playoffs, apparently, I guess. Ain't that some shit? But I don't know. Like, next year's big halftime show, I mean, Roger Goodell and the NFL, they've lost a lot of respect. They lost a lot of fans from what he did this past season. The whole Super Bowl event, and I stated this before, and I'll state this for you guys. The entire Super Bowl event was weaponized for politics. It wasn't a grand old show for families to sit around a TV and watch some good old American football and see who's on the halftime show. No, this was a fucking event that was weaponized for politics by Roger Goodell. You open the Super Bowl up with one of the biggest punk bands since the 90s, Green Day. Now, don't get me wrong, up until when Billy Joel started seizuring out and having strokes on stage and saying fuck MAGA and fuck Trump, I used to like Green Day. I did. I've said it before, American Idiot was one of my favorite albums from Green Day. I remember when I bought that fucking album back in 2005, I listened to the fuck out of it, you know? But now I pretty much boycotted, Green Day because, like I said, Billy Joel, or whatever the fuck his name is, decided to, I have a stroke. He stroked out and said, hey, fuck MAGA. Hey, ICE, quit the city jobs. We're gonna sing American Idiot now. I'm American Idiot. But I'm gonna change the lyrics to some of the Jesus Christ. That's all I fucking hear of that little pipsqueak. Fuck, he's like, what, 50 fucking years old? That little fucking pipsqueak. Somebody say you look like a fucking woman. You look like a raging fucking woman with blonde hair. I believe it. I wanted to fucking like Green Day still, but, when you go woke, you go broke. Same thing with all these Hollywood actors. Another one that I want to mention real quick, and it's fucking hilarious because I only seen him in like 3 movies, all right? Actor John Leguizamo, Hispanic actor. I liked him in the Super Mario Brothers movie, even though it was a horrible movie. It was bad. It was cringy. I grew up on it. It's one of my favorite movies, Spawn. He played that fat little fucking clown in the movie Spawn. And then I've seen him in a couple of the John Wick movies, He was in a ton of movies. Don't get me wrong. I ain't seen him in a whole lot. But you got this one guy who's sitting there saying, hey, if you support ICE and you support Trump, I don't want you watching a single fucking movie I've made. Don't watch anything that I'm in. Okay, do you think we're raging against this? Fuck no. I'm not raging. I'm not upset. That's like back in the fucking 60s. Remember, now, a lot of you are too fucking young to even know this, unless you do some proper research. Back in the 60s, when the Beatles were live on national TV, and they told the world that they felt like they were bigger than Jesus Christ. How many people took it to the streets to burn Beatles albums? They burned records and shit, People hated the fucking Beatles. Christianity is the biggest thing in the household. Everybody, was going to church and stuff. Everybody was a Christian, Catholic, whatever. When you have one of the biggest bands in the world come out and say, "Oh, we're bigger than Jesus," even though the message probably wasn't clarified clearly, but when you sit there on national TV and you tell thousands of fans, "We're bigger than Jesus," what do you think's gonna fucking happen? You got all those people who look at you and say, "Well, fuck this band." They took it to the streets. They burned their fucking Beatles records and all kind of shit. They stopped listening to the Beatles. I think right after that, that's when they went back to Liverpool, and then that's where they stayed, right back in fucking Liverpool, because they knew they had fans there that still appreciated them and shit, and they still wrote music. Don't get me wrong, they still wrote music, but I think they redeemed themselves after a while, even with their solo work and all. But other than that, when the damage is done, there ain't no coming back from shit like that, And that's what's being done today with a lot of these bands, a lot of these Hollywood actors, the ones that are sitting there saying, if you're with MAGA, if you're a Trump supporter, I don't want you listening to my music at all. Even that fucking beast Lizzo. How is that wildebeest still a fucking thing? Well, she is a thing, but how is she still even relevant? Didn't she have some kind of fucking liposurgery because she was ashamed of her body? She was fucking fat and all, and now she's like, I don't want no white people, I don't want no MAGA people listening to my music, and I mean that. Bitch, nobody was listening to your music. Why don't you go get yourself a fucking couch for the next goddamn concert you put on? What the hell is that big black dude that was on stage? You guys seen that video? That big black guy, he was a so-called rapper. He was on stage. That motherfucker, he put the 600-pound life to shame, man. This motherfucker was almost... God damn, he was like fucking 5 of me. He's sitting on the goddamn stage. He's not standing on the stage. This motherfucker has a couch on the stage. They brought a couch out for my man. He's sitting on a fucking couch, fucking rapping to a fucking audience of what, 200 fucking people? I don't know. Like, God, what is it with these fucking no-talent people? And I know I'm fat myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm fat. I make fun of myself sometimes, too. And I'm like, what is it with these fat motherfucking artists who get up on stage? And especially when you got one that's been to fucking Burger King just about every goddamn day like it's fucking religious. He probably goes to fucking Chick-fil-A on Sunday. Well, Chick-fil-A, they're not open on Sundays, because it's a Christian-owned, but still. And then you got fucking Lizzo. Oh, don't listen to any of my music, especially you white people. It's like, bitch, not only you fat, you fucking racist too. God damn. Like, what is it with these fucking people, There's been so many fucking artists. And then you got fucking Bruce Springsteen, the biggest liberal of all. Let me tell y'all something. And I mentioned this before. There was only one, and I call it one song that I actually liked from Bruce Springsteen. That was Pink Cadillac. And I think somebody else did a cover of it. It wasn't as great. But I will say, like, I continue to wish to this day that somebody else performed Pink Cadillac so I could completely hate this motherfucker. Which I still do, don't get me wrong. I mean, this guy, he's a complete fucking joke. This is a guy who's fucking holding rallies for 2 fucking people who tried to murder ICE agents. These motherfuckers are holding fucking rallies for 2 fucking idiots who couldn't fucking go home or stay home and stop antagonizing or following ICE agents around. Federal fucking agents have been around since 2003, And you're gonna fucking rally for them. Speaking of Hollywood, doing shit like that. Any Avengers fans in here? Marvel? Do y'all like the Hulk? Which version of the Hulk do you like? I hope you're going to say Edward Norton or Eric Bana, because Mark Ruffalo, he's a real piece of fucking dog shit. He really is. And I wonder if I still have the video, because I've been going through reels on Facebook And breaking news, guys. Holy shit. James Vanderbeek is dead at age 48. Wow. I'm just now looking at this, and even Nicole's in shock. She's sitting right next to me.
He played on Dawson's Creek.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dawson revealed that he was battling stage 3 colorectal cancer.
Wow, I'm in fucking shock.
Damn.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, yep, breaking news, the Dawson. James Vanderbeek is dead at age 48.
Wow. Oh my god. Wow.
Oh, thanks a lot, Ron. That really put a damper in my day.
Wow.
Wow, man. Yeah, for those of you just now joining in, I'll be looking up here. Well, I'm gonna look up here in a second, but yeah, the Dawson himself, James Vanderbeek, dead at age 48 due to cancer. Let me see if my buddy Jeff heard about that. Oh, Jeff probably didn't even care. Oh, nope, he might have shared it. He might have shared it. I can't even find my fucking messages, man. Did he share it? Oh shit, no, he shared something else. Oh god damn. Can't wait. Oh. Just read the Dawson died. James Vanderbeek. Well, I know there's other movies that there was other areas that he was in too. I think he was in the movie Varsity Blues, I think he was in the movie Varsity Blues. But yeah, as we're reading this right now live on air, this tweet went out from Vander James, our beloved James Vanderbeek, passed peacefully this morning. He met his final days. Final days. I can't fucking read. With courage, faith, and grace, there is much to share regarding his wishes, love, and humanity and sacredness at the time. Those days will come. For now, we ask for great, peaceful privacy as we grieve our loving husband, father, son, brother, and friend. Wow. Cancer is a motherfucker, guys. It truly is. What the fuck am I doing here? There we go. I was fucking moving shit around the goddamn, what you call it? But yeah, I guess if you guys want to take a second to, damn. Who else joining in now? Anybody here now with us live? Let me know. You guys are live right now with a hot show. I was talking about celebrities in Hollywood. Let me see what my boy Jeff just wrote here. 48 answer. Just read it live on stream. Damn. Yeah, anybody who's joining in now, before I continue today's topic, we just learned break news, as Edward Hubbard used to call it, break news. Actor James Vanderbeek, the Dawson himself from Dawson's Creek and several movies of the 90s and the 2000s, passed away at the age of 48 to cancer. Wow, what a thing to open Facebook up to as I'm trying to find some reels. Wow. Alrighty, let me go ahead here. Let me see if I can find the reels that I saved. Do I have it saved in here? Do I have a reel for this asshole? Apparently I don't. What, this one? Oh no. I was looking for something else, though. Okay, so I don't have the reel for it here. There is a reel somewhere that I was watching. Maybe it was on TikTok. Maybe it was on TikTok. Hold on. Let me pull up TikTok here. If nothing will play on my end here. I don't want anything to play on my end. Go to my profile. Let me check my favorites. Do I have it in here? Nope, don't seem like it at all. Okay, so I had a reel. It was Mark Ruffalo being interviewed on the Hollywood carpet, and he was wearing a pin. And the interviewer asked him, "What's the pin for?" He said, "Oh, it's for Renee Good, because she was murdered down by these ICE agents. We got to take them out. You know, we got to take out ICE. Trump, he's a piece of shit. He's got to go. Trump's a pedophile. Trump's this. Trump's that." This is Hollywood bought out. You all spent the last 15 years watching Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk and supporting him if he was your favorite Marvel character. This motherfucker comes out and says all these fucking pure-ass lies. All these pure-ass fucking lies. Hold on, this might be it. I think I know what I'm looking at here. Let me see.
Okay, pay attention. Today I made a video explaining why Democrats are so against us enforcing our immigration.
All right, that's something else. That's not what I'm looking for. But I think I know what I'm looking for. Okay, so it is this guy who does a video. Okay, let me look this up here. I might be on the right page for something. Let me see. I'm scrolling through. I don't want to take too much time, guys, because I know it's somewhere in here. This guy that I'm talking about right now, I follow him on Facebook, and he has a video talking about it. In fact, since we're about 40 minutes in, guys, though, let's go ahead and take a break while I look for this stuff. And when I come back, I'll play the video for you guys if I can find it, so hang tight. We'll return.
This moment of Yuletide joy is brought to you by Comedy Central.
She'll try to drown you. She'll try to freeze you. She'll try to burn you. She'll try to blow you away. But she will not succeed. The Nissan Pathfinder. Now you can lease the legendary Pathfinder at this special rate.
I know you're still there, and you're watching Kids in the Hall right here on Comedy Central. It's Christmas with the kids.
Comedy Central's Yule Log is brought to you in part by Mixed Nuts, a new film from TriStar Pictures.
And welcome back, guys. I did find that clip. I finally looked for it, and I found it. So this guy I follow on Facebook, his name is Jeffrey Mead, and he follows a lot of these clips, and he gives his honest opinion about what he sees. And not just honest opinions, but pure fact as well. So, this is... You guys got to watch this video. Well, I'm going to play it for you guys, so let me know after I play the video what you all think.
What's the pin? This is for Renee Nicole Good, who was murdered. We have a vice president who's lying about what's happening. We have we're in the middle of a war with Venezuela that we illegally invaded. He's telling the world that international law doesn't matter to him. The only thing that matters to him is his own morality. But the guy is a convicted felon or convicted rapist. He's a pedophile. He's the worst human being. If we're relying on this guy's...
This man is an idiot. He sounds like a brainwashed, ignorant, virtue-signaling liberal. That's exactly what he sounds like. First off, Renee Nicole Good was not murdered. She was shot by an officer in self-defense after she hit him with her vehicle. She shouldn't have been obstructing federal agents from doing their job, and then she should have complied when they told her to get out of her vehicle. Notice how Mark doesn't tell you any of this. He just says she was murdered. She wasn't murdered. He then goes on to say the vice president is lying about what's happening. He's not. We saw the video. She hit him with her vehicle, and she was not following orders. She should have followed orders. And again, she shouldn't have been obstructing. Then he goes on to say we're in the middle of a war with Venezuela. No, we're not. A military operation does not equal war. Again, ignorant liberal. Then he goes on to say that Trump is a convicted felon. Trump is a manufactured felon by the Democrats. In one of the bluest states in the entire country, in one of the bluest cities in the entire country, the Democrats found a way to stretch misdemeanors into felonies. That is what happened. They quite literally manufactured Trump into a felon, so hopefully it would sway public opinion and then they could use this talking point and say he's a felon. It's stupid. Then he says he's a convicted rapist, which is just a flat out lie. Trump is not a convicted rapist. In 2023, a civil jury found him guilty of sexual abuse and defamation. Then in 2022, New York passed the ASA, the Adult Survivors Act. So it was the law that allowed individuals who were victims of sexual assault as adults to file civil lawsuits even if the standard statute of limitations had already expired. So New York went and changed the law. And then after they changed the law, now Trump magically has a lawsuit for sexual abuse. He's also a manufactured person convicted of sexual abuse. Democrats have engineered these outcomes, and then they try to use them as talking points. And idiots like this repeat them like a parrot. Now, real quick, back to Renee Nicole Good. She was an obstructionist who should have been minding her business. If she was at home minding her business, she'd still be alive today. But again, he's not going to tell you that. He's going to act like they quite literally just murdered this woman for existing. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Just a reminder, I have a free email newsletter. I send this out every...
If you guys follow this, if you don't follow this guy, you guys need to follow him. Jeffrey Mead. Pure fact, 100%. The liberals made Trump a manufactured felon. He's not a convicted felon. He's a manufactured felon by the liberals, because the Democrats, they all know what kind of threat he posed to their agenda. They all knew. So they manufactured all of these convictions. They even, like he said, they stretched out misdemeanors into felonies to convict this man of 75 accounts, and he was innocent of every single one. They may have put him on probation for one of them, and that was it. He was a manufactured felon. That's like saying taking a parking ticket and stretching it out as far as you can and say, oh, getting a parking ticket, that's illegal. He should serve a year in jail. That's basically what they're trying to do. They're not trying to do, they tried to do, and they failed miserably. As for actor Mark Ruffalo, with his comments, all the lies that he put out there and shit, I don't support this motherfucker anymore. You know what? I did love watching the Marvel movies. I watched them all up until whatever came out recently, but you know what? After that, fuck Mark Ruffalo. Fuck that Disney woke shit. Do I care to see the next Avenger movie? I want to see it so bad, but you know what? Fuck them. Fuck them all. They all stand on the side of what we all see is as evil. Good and evil. Democrats, Republicans. Well, I'm a conservative. Like I've always said, even though not all Democrats are bad, but not all Republicans are good either. You do have your crooked Republicans out there as well. You got Republicans that make us turn our heads twice and say, what the fuck, you know, what's your problem? But, you know, same thing with Democrats, you know? But there's a vast majority of Democrats. They want to see you poor. They want to see you living in poverty. They don't want you owning luxurious houses. They don't want to see you employed. They don't want to see you happy. They want to see you struggling. Every single one of us, to the Democrats, is a cog in the machine. We just keep on whirling and whirling, making them more and more fucking money. And then you got the big paid Hollywood actors, you know, the big rich motherfuckers that are making millions of dollars a fucking year. Yeah. They ain't going to be touched. And you know what? A hell of a lot of them are on the fucking Epstein list. Who the fuck keeps messaging me and why? Oh, somebody messaged me a fucking fake turd in a bowl. God damn. Let me go ahead and turn Facebook off there so I don't have too many notifications popping in. But yeah, all these Hollywood celebrities. And we'll get into that. We will definitely get into that in the next part. But let's circle our way right back around to what I was originally talking about, you know? When I started talking about how celebrities and music artists are basically paid off and weaponized to push an agenda. And that's what the halftime Super Bowl was. One big weaponized political agenda. They pushed it out. They lied to you on TV. They lied to you all in person. They lied to you, stating this is an event of peace and unity, and it's patriotic. Okay, I got you. Patriotic. See, Super Bowl lyrics. Hold on. I'll give you motherfuckers patriotic. Alrighty, so the entire Super Bowl was performed by this one garbage fucking performer, Bad Bunny. No one heard of this worthless piece of shit until Roger Goodell and the NFL stated, he's going to be at the next Super Bowl. Yeah, we got a voice. It's somebody who's not who's not white. Oh my God. Last year you had Kendrick Lamar. Everybody should have fucking did what Kendrick Lamar said last year. Turn the TV off. Remember that? That dude performed. He was talking about, you know, pedophiles and shit. Who was it? Drake, and Drake was a pedophile, and talking about Diddy and shit like that, I think. And then on the end of his song, he was like, turn the TV off, you know? And that's what everybody did. They turned away from the fucking Super Bowl. This year, they turned away from the fucking Super Bowl. But I guess Roger Goodell, he was all done with American performance, you know? It's like, okay, Kendrick Lamar, nah, don't like him. Eminem, don't like him. Jennifer Lopez, don't like her. Didn't they have Beyonce and Jay-Z? I can't fucking remember. I mean, you can date all the way fucking back 30 fucking years, you know? You've had black artists, you had Latino artists, you had white artists. But yet, people like me and you, we tell you all, we're not tuning in, we're tuning out. Fuck that Super Bowl. And guess what? The liberals label you as a racist. You're racist. You don't want to listen to the guy singing in Spanish at the Super Bowl. You're a fucking racist. Shut your fucking bitch ass up. Ow. That's what I'm like. Shut your fucking bitch ass up. You know, us true fucking Americans are tired. We're tired of you brain dead retard, goat fucking, camel fucking retards telling us that we're racist. Swing that shit back around on you. Who founded the KKK? Who was all for slavery? You same stupid motherfuckers. The same fucking racists that look at people like me and call me a racist because I'm not going to watch the fucking Super Bowl show. Yeah. Well, even though I didn't really tune into any of it because I was busy doing other things, but what did I watch the most? The All-American Halftime Show. There's your fucking patriotic Super Bowl right there. There's your halftime show right there. And yes, there was a strong message of religion. And it was a strong message for Charlie Kirk and remembrance of him. But this was not just a concert with Kid Rock going ball with the ball, you know, and several other country singers. I get it. not everybody's in the country. Somebody told me that. Well, guess what? The last few Super Bowls we had were rap artists. Not everybody's into rap. So what happens? You either watch it or you don't watch it. You turn it off, wait until the fucking game comes on back on. Simple as that. I would have loved to see fucking people tell me a year ago, oh, you're not going to watch Kendrick Lamar? Oh, well, you're racist. I would have fucking backhanded some motherfucker if they said that to me. Just like right now, I would backhand literally the fucking the quarter of a fucking America who supported that fucking garbage. I would backhand them with a fucking cement block and say that shit again. You're the true fucking racist of this goddamn country. How fucking dare you sit there and tell me I'm racist because I don't want to watch a piece of shit singing Spanish on fucking national TV. Now let me look at the numbers here. Real quick, let me look at the fucking numbers. Let's show you the fucking numbers, okay? Now let's see here. The web browser decided to want to fucking take a shit on me now. God damn it. Of course. So. Let's see. I'm just going to go off of what some of my new friends on TikTok. Oh, wait. Here we go. The official ratings for the Super Bowl halftime show, with NBC reporting that Bad Bunny's performance averaged 128.2 million viewers between 8:15 and 8:30 on the Super Bowl. That's completely wrong. The NFL title game itself was watched by a total of 124.9 viewers. Here is the real kicker. You had 128 million people watching the Super Bowl, right? And I stated this on a panel last night on TikTok. I stated this on a panel trying to tell some brain dead liberal, hey, there was 128 million people who tuned in for an event, not just a halftime show. He tuned in for the football, the entire event, regardless of what it was. They tuned in to watch it from beginning to end. The Super Bowl is one of the big events of the year, you know? You got 128 million people tuned in for the entire event. They're there to watch the football. They're there to have a good time, you know? When the halftime show came on, all the people watching that knew what the fuck they were getting into or didn't know what they were getting into and watched maybe a couple minutes of it, everybody turned the shit off. Now, whether you did watch the All-American halftime show or not, a lot of people turned to that. Or maybe people felt like, oh, I'm not a big Kid Rock fan, and the music played there is not my style. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to watch it. We're not pulling your leg to watch it, but who's pulling your leg? The Democrats are. The liberals are pulling your leg because if you don't sit and watch this fucking Puerto Rican piece of shit perform, you're a fucking racist. You're the problem with America. You're fucking MAGA. You're for Trump. You're for ICE. Yeah. 128 million, right? Roughly 10 million viewers turn the fucking shit off. TV networks can track these numbers, and they did. More people tuned in to watch the All-American halftime show compared to Bad Bunny's shit performance. There was a poll that I shared on Twitter, if I can find it. and it was from TMZ. And it was fucking hilarious, guys. It was fucking hilarious. Let me see here. I shared it somewhere on here. Must have got taken down. I think I got a picture of it, though. Developing, let's see here. Where the fuck is it at? I had it. Alright, this is from Raw Alert. Over 5 million people are reportedly tuning into Turning Point USA's All-American Halftime Show, which is an alternate live stream timed to coincide with the NFL's official halftime performance. I think I have a screenshot saved here on my phone. Or at least I thought I did, guys. Jesus Christ. But here we go. So the Super Bowl pulled in 127 million viewers. Now, the Turning Point's All-American Halftime Show. Now, mind you, that is spanned. It spanned across several different platforms, Rumble and such. It's not just one platform you were watching on. You weren't just watching it on YouTube. You're watching it on Rumble and a few other platforms out there. The All-American Halftime Show hit 18 million in viewership, making it one of the biggest live streams on the internet in recent years. One of the biggest live stream events. Bad Bunny only landed maybe about 2 or 3 million. That's sad. That is the viewer reality check right there. So while liberals are sitting there using the structured number for the Super Bowl itself, 127 million viewers, that's how many viewers tuned into the entire event themselves. A lot of those viewers dropped the fuck off. They either turned the TV off until the game came back on, or they went and watched the other alternative. However way you look at it, Turning Point USA's All-American Halftime Show outbeat this Puerto Rican bitch's halftime show by a landslide. Plus, when you look at it, whose song is number one in the country right now? Let's see. Music charts number one hit 2026. All right, so let's see here. There's got to be an updated verse here. Gotta be something updated here. Bad Bunny. Yeah, okay. This page must be fucking liberal. Yeah, they didn't even put fucking Kid Rock on here. I don't know who the fuck Ella Langley is. That's probably brand spanking new. Who the fuck knows? But let me tell y'all something. If it ain't liberal reporting, I don't know. But the number one song in America the night of the Super Bowl on up was Kid Rock's song "If You Can." Be outbeating Bad Bunny. Outbeating Bad Bunny. So everyone wants to sit there and talk shit about Kid Rock. I know about Kid Rock. Kid Rock is that bad boy, all-American badass that came rocking out from the fucking late 90s and the early 2000s. And how about this little fucking, this little segment right here? I love how all these liberals are sitting there saying, oh, Kid Rock lip-synced. Kid Rock lip-synced. He can't sing anymore. Motherfucker, Kid Rock's group and every other fucking music group out there have backing vocalists. Alright, backing vocalists. For so many years, Kid Rock used Uncle Kracker. Y'all remember who Uncle Kracker was? No? Look up Uncle Kracker. Follow me, everything is alright. I can't fucking sing, but Uncle Kracker. He was a backing vocalist and DJ for Kid Rock. Yeah. Not only that, he also sang vocals on some of Kid Rock's songs, too. So before you sit there and say that Kid Rock lip-synced, they're choreographed to do that back and forth thing. Kid Rock will sing one part of the lyric, the backing vocals will sing the other one. Yeah, they sound close to each other. They always have. They always have, or at least you think they have. It's normal for bands to do shit like that, especially up in the early ages, you know? Or not early ages, up in their later ages, as they're getting older. Kid Rock, he's gonna be what, 50-something years old, maybe? I guess. But all these liberals sitting there saying, Kid Rock lip sync, he lip sync, he lip sync. So the fuck did Milli Vanilli, but that was fucking proven. Kid Rock, you can't prove that fucking shit. You only see what's on fucking screen. Oh, the music kept playing as he stopped singing. That's because there was somebody else singing the rest of the fucking lyrics with him. Jesus Christ, liberals are fucking brain dead as shit. I swear to God, man. It amazes me. But I want y'all to sit here and listen to this, okay? I'm not going to play these fucking songs. I'm not going to play this shit. I'm not going to submit you to torture. Alright? Now, Bad Bunny, he performed several songs during the halftime show. And I got to say, I'm ashamed of Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin for even participating in that fucking garbage. Yeah, Lady Gaga was there, of course. She's fucking everywhere, you know. She's about everywhere. They were there too. It was a big fucking gimmick. So everybody sat there and said that Bad Bunny's music, it was very patriotic. He was very American. Yeah. Let's see how American these lyrics are. And here's a big kicker, okay? The entire show was in Spanish. He didn't sing a lick of fucking English. This is an American-based show. As of what, the last 5-10 years, the official language for the United States is English. And I know there's going to be people out there that will debate it. They always have fucking debated and said, there is no official language of the United States. Yes, there is. Let's look that up real quick, too. What is the official language of the USA? Let's look this up. TheWhiteHouse.com. Please don't tell me I got a fucking... Alright, Section 3 of this article, designating English as the official language. This is from TheWhiteHouse.com. Even though somebody's going to probably sit there and say, oh, Trump revised that. Trump wrote that up. Trump wrote this. Shut the fuck up and sit your bitch ass down. Section 3 of this article, designating the official language of the United States. English is the official language of the United States. Executive Order 13166 on August 11th, 2000, improving access to services for persons with limited English proficiency is hereby revoked. Nothing in this order, however, requires or directs any change in the services provided by any agency. Agency heads should make decisions that as they deem necessary to fulfill their respective agencies' missions and efficiently provide government services to American people. So yeah, for the last 20 some odd years, English has been deemed the official language of the United States of America. The official language. And people want to sit there and bitch and complain, oh, well, we don't have a specific language. We don't have a specific language. Do some fucking research. Stay the fuck off TikTok. Stay the fuck off all these other fucking platforms that you get your liberal stupid shit based off of. Jesus Christ. So anyway, the entire Super Bowl, or the entire halftime show, was in Spanish. How many viewers do you all think understand Spanish or speak Spanish? Probably a very, very minuscule amount of people understand or speak Spanish. Probably within the 5% range, maybe, or 10% range, maybe. I'm going to go on a whim and say 90% of people who were there and people who are at home watching this garbage, they don't understand what the fuck he's saying. They don't speak Spanish. I didn't take Spanish in high school. I'm not going to take a fucking Spanish course. I don't need to learn Spanish. If you don't speak fucking English, get the fuck away from me. In fact, if you see some of these videos on TikTok and Instagram and all over that people have been taking and sharing when the halftime show was on, even though everybody stood up for it, there was only maybe, 5 or 10 people in the entire crowd in that stadium that stood up and was actually doing some kind of dance move. Everybody was just standing there, bored as fuck, not knowing what the fuck is going on. Is that the image that Roger Goodell wants for the fucking NFL? Wants for the Super Bowl? Lifeless fans standing in the fucking stands, looking down at a fucking a stage and listening to some goobity gobble coming from some fucking Puerto Rican pussy who fucking dresses in dresses, wears makeup and eyelash and mascaras. This is what we wanted for a fucking Super Bowl? No, the fuck we didn't. Liberals want to fit their fucking agenda. Let's all unite. Let's all unite. We got a gay Puerto Rican artist. I don't give a fuck if he's gay, straight. I don't care if that motherfucker smokes poles after the goddamn event. If he's not talented, if he can't put on a fucking show that's patriotic, get the motherfucker out of here. I'm going to read you some of these fucking lyrics to these so-called patriotic songs from Bad Bunny, and you guys can look them up too. Reframe, Bad Bunny. I'm going to take them all to the VIP. The VIP, hey, say hello to Auntie. Let's take a selfie, say cheese. Let the ones I already fucked smile. In a VIP, hey, say hello to Auntie. Let's take a selfie, say cheese. Well, let's see here. Here's a verse. I really like the Gabrielas, the Patricias, the Nicoles, the Sevillas. My first girlfriend in kindergarten, Maria. And my first love's name was Talia. I got a Colombian who writes me every day, and a Mexican I don't even know about. Another one in San Antonio that still loves me, and the ones from PR all the time. A Dominican who was a fresh hottie, fresh hottie. The one from Barcelona that came by plane and says my dick is fire. I let them play with my heart. That sounds very patriotic, don't it? Let's see. No, chill. I twerk alone. Move it. I twerk alone. My D is being chased, and I want you to hide it. Grab it like a bonga. She took a pill that made her horny. She fucks in an Audi, not in a Honda. Hey, if I give it to you, don't call me, cause this is not to make you love me. If your boyfriend doesn't, he better fuck. I'm still looking for something that's very patriotic here. I met her in Miami and Brickell. She knows there's money here. She wants me to make a move on her, wants me to smuggle her back home. Bring your friend if you like the idea. Tell her we're partying tonight. Hey, we're going to have a great time. Nobody's getting married here. Let's see. I don't see anything patriotic. I'm just like skimming through. Dancing Pooro, baby, grinding, baby. Tra, baby, all the way down, baby. I'll grab you, baby, in the club, baby. A. Dancing Pooro, baby, grinding. Yeah, okay. Then there's a song "Die with a Smile" that is performed by Lady Gaga, of course. So that was probably the only thing that wasn't fucking English was Lady Gaga. Yeah. I'm just ashamed that she was there for that whole fucking thing. Yep. Yeah, I know. I'm not seeing anything here that's patriotic looking. Not a single fucking thing. Well, there's one thing, DTMF, where he starts out. It's an interlude. I don't think it's a fucking song. Starts out saying, "God bless America." Yeah, God bless America. You want to kiss our ass at the end of your fucking show. You want to kiss America's ass after you fucking gave us the big fucking middle finger. And that's all the halftime show was. One big fucking middle finger to America, guys. That's all it was. One big middle finger. And a lot of those fucking lyrics, somebody asked on TikTok last night, how did those things get past the censorship? Now, of course, there was some idiot liberal that came in on that panel and said, oh, they blurred it out. They blurred it out. They didn't blur out any goddamn thing. I've watched what I could fucking stomach in the fucking on fucking YouTube when I fucking tried to rewatch the whole thing. You know, I tried to fucking stomach it, but I couldn't. You know, it was fucking terrible. I didn't hear anything or see anything blurred out. I even mentioned to my wife this morning, we were talking about it. I say I listen to this band, Rammstein. I'm pretty sure some of you guys know who Rammstein is, a German band, a German heavy metal band. Yeah, I listen to them. Most of their fucking music's in German. I may not understand it unless I translate it in lyrics, but I know they have profanity in it. And in their edited versions, they blur that shit out. You know when something's blurred out, especially if it is in a foreign language. They figured this guy sings his fucking songs in Spanish, and they know that a vast majority of the viewership doesn't speak a lick of English. They're not going to fucking understand it. They're just going to be there for, ooh, look at the stage props. Oh, yeah, the beat of the music. Everything's so flashy. Ooh, we love this. Nobody fucking loved it. What, 10 fucking people loved the fucking show? That was about it. And I'm guessing those 2.2 million people that did tune in to watch it, they were the motherfuckers there in the stadium. They were the motherfuckers in the stadium. How many people were in the Super Bowl stadium 2026? I want to know the fucking number. I want to see how many fans were at the Super Bowl. How many fans were at the Super Bowl? How many fans attended the fucking Super Bowl? How many fans? Over 100 million Americans tuned in. Okay, that's nice. I want to know how many fans were there. Okay. There was at least almost 71,000 people there in the stands. Various estimates have suggested a range between 64 and 75,000 for the big game at Levi Stadium, maxed out. So you got to figure there was about 73,000 people there at the stadium. Yeah, that doesn't come nowhere near the amount that's needed for the halftime show and all. But you know what? That 2.2 million, shit, that's how many Democrats we got in this country. Compared to, say 18 million people who tuned into the All-American halftime show. Yeah, people are done with y'all's rhetoric. People are done with y'all's narrative and your agenda. You know, 4 years under Biden, we all seen the fucking tragedy unfold upon us. And we all see the fucking bullshit that y'all put us through right now. The riots in the street, they're not peaceful protests. It's not protesting when you go up against a federal law enforcement agent and you threaten their lives. That's not a protest, that's a riot. You know, there ain't no fucking protesting out there. If you want to protest, stay on the sidewalk and speak your mind. Hold fucking signs. Don't fucking start attacking people. Because you know what that's called? A riot. Yeah. That amazes me. Bad fucking Bunny. It was a bad performance. Not only was it a bad performance, it was a god awful ass of a fucking performance. And Roger Goodell and the NFL should be heavily ashamed of making that choice. Let's get a fucking dragster in here, a gay guy who dresses in fucking dresses and shit, and wears and probably thinks he's a fucking woman too. The guy probably tucks his dick in between his fucking legs. This is somebody you need to call Ace Ventura for, you know? He's a motherfucker who you need Ace Ventura to find Captain Winky on this son of a bitch. You know, that's the kind of guy he is. This motherfucker hides Captain Winky in between his goddamn legs when he performs. Now, am I homophobic? No, I'm not against gay people. I have no hatred for fucking gay people. But this is what you got. You got a gay guy performing Spanish songs at an American event. He could have sang something in English. He could have been talented. He wasn't fucking talented at all. This whole Super Bowl was weaponized as one big political fucking statement. A big fuck you to American patriots. A big fuck you to American veterans who fought in foreign wars, who fought for your all's freedom and mine. A big fuck you to people like Charlie Kirk, who was innocently murdered in front of his fans, his peers, his family. This Super Bowl was a big fuck you to him. Why do we have ICE? Kids today are out there protesting. That's going to be my next big thing. You got all these schools, all these so-called educators that your and my tax dollars are paying to educate our children, to make sure our children are safe. And they're allowing our children to walk out of their seats, walk out of their classes, outside with signs and protesting against a federal law enforcement agency that's doing their fucking job to keep you all safe. These ICE agents. All right, everybody knows them as ICE. What does ICE stand for? What does ICE stand for? You're all going to fucking love this, all right? ICE stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The U.S. federal agency under the Department of Homeland Security responsible for enforcing immigration laws and investigating custom violations. Yeah. These guys were put into place around 2003, 2 years after 9/11. Because around then, we were even learning that there were terrorists among us in the country. There still are terrorists in the country. Shit, look at New York. New York's being ran by a fucking terrorist himself. How y'all doing up there in New York? I've seen videos of the fucking streets of Manhattan and shit, all trashed up and all. How's that terrorist doing y'all? Is he doing you good? Yeah, glad to hear that. Yeah. We'll see y'all the next New Year's Eve ball drop. Yeah. If y'all even have one. That motherfucker will have a goddamn... He'll have fucking rugs on the goddamn street. Play the Allah, play the Allah. There's your fucking New Year's Eve. Grab some fucking grass water. Grab a fucking rug. Pray to the fucking east. There you go. There's your fucking New Year's Eve, New York. You ain't gonna hear... you ain't gonna hear that. You're gonna hear death to America. That's all you're gonna fucking hear. That's all you're gonna hear, because that's what Democrats want. That's what Democrats want. They want us to be a third world country. They don't want America to be power anymore. They want their citizens to live in poverty. They want their citizens to live like slaves. That's all we are. We're fucking slaves. We're cogs in the fucking machine. They want us to suffer. Every single day, Democrats take the fucking Constitution and they wipe our ass with it every single fucking day. Every single way that they fucking can. When there's a fucking mass school shooting, that's what they do. I wish they would have let us walk out there to school so I could just get out of class. You know, sometimes I think that's what they're doing now. What's going on, boy? But yeah, let me tell y'all something. I was sitting here a couple days ago with Nicole, and my stepdaughter goes to a high school near here. I'm not going to mention her name or anything, but she was part of that rhetoric, unfortunately. That school ended up fucking letting the kids storm out of the classrooms to go protest ICE. And I know it wasn't my place to do so, but I ended up calling the school up. And I didn't mention anything, and I didn't mention any names to them. You know, I was like, how fucking dare you all allow these kids to leave out of these classrooms to go outside and protest against something? I mean, she tried her damnedest not to let me say anything. I was like, my fucking taxpayer dollars is paying for these kids' educations. I'm not paying for these kids to walk out of class and protest against something that's protecting them. What's it going to take to teach these Democrats a fucking lesson? You know, they want to sit there and say, Renee Good, Alex Pretty, they lost their lives to ICE. Oh, they were murdered by ICE. They weren't murdered. They were shot by ICE officers who were protecting themselves when Renee Good tried to run one of them over. When Alex Pretty had a gun with him and was planning on using it on one of the ICE officers. These are federal agents that are trained to protect themselves and others. Do you expect these motherfuckers to just murder these ICE agents and not let them defend themselves? They're fucking human beings like you all. They have families like you all. But in that moment right there, all you think about is you. You think you're doing everybody a good service. In reality, you're trying to murder somebody who's trying to arrest and detain a fucking pedophile, a rapist, a murderer, a sex offender. But y'all don't give a fuck. All you give a fuck is what you're brainwashed into giving a fuck about. Everything is manufactured. That's all it is. Everything is manufactured hate toward ICE. You can mention the names Lincoln Riley. What's her name? I know the last name is Nungary, I think. I forgot. All these young women within the last 4 or 5 years who lost their lives to illegal immigrants. Rachel Moore, there you go. Thank God. All these women who lost their lives. Shit, what about that woman on the subway? She was foreign, but she was American. She did nothing wrong. You had this one stupid black motherfucker sitting behind her who just randomly gets up and stabs this poor fucking woman to death. No one did a damn thing about this motherfucker either. Democrats protected him. A Democratic judge released his ass several fucking times. Democrats don't fucking care. But when you do that 180 back on them when one of theirs is murdered, all hell breaks loose. Oh shit, let's burn down Minneapolis. Let's burn down California. Let's have fucking fires. Let's teach these motherfuckers a lesson. They murdered a Democrat. Look at George Floyd. Motherfucker was he was a fucking felon. That motherfucker beat women. He was probably a drug dealer. He was on fucking drugs the fucking day he died. Everybody wants to condemn the white police officer. His knee was on his neck. The fucker was dying before the fucking knee was on his neck. He proclaimed he couldn't breathe before the knee was on his fucking neck. It is a joke, man. This whole thing's a fucking joke. These Democrats could perform a genocide on everybody in this country who supports Trump. Every motherfucker would be cheering in the streets. But when one motherfucker loses their life to a fuck around, find out, a fuck around and find out situation, all hell breaks loose. You got Hollywood praising her fucking name, Renee Good. Remember Renee Good. Everybody talks about, oh, we need to, ICE needs to stop wearing masks. We can, yeah, why do they wear masks? So they're not being doxxed by fucking retards like these assholes. These are fucking human beings. Can you imagine if these poor officers went around and you knew who the fuck they were? You know what they look like. If something happens, you know how many fucking people would be targeting these people and targeting their families? That's why law enforcement officers, they stay masked up. They don't want retards like these coming to their fucking house, breaking into their house, murdering their families and them because they're strong hatred for them. Yeah, big cities burned that entire summer. They did. I can't tell you how many cities burned because of fucking George Floyd. One guy that nobody fucking knew. One guy that no one fucking knew. You knew his name by the end of the fucking day. And they were posting fucking pictures and murals up of this son of a bitch. He did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. The son of a bitch was trying to pass off counterfeit money in a drugstore. And then not only that, and I mentioned this on this show around that time it happened. That motherfucker would probably still be alive or even in jail if when he went out to that vehicle with those other people in it, if they had just drove off and drove away, he'd still be alive, right? He'd just be in jail. How stupid for these motherfuckers to sit there on the side waiting for the fucking cops to show up. George Floyd's a big fucker. I feel no sympathy for that motherfucker. Fuck George Floyd. Every year on the day of his death, I sit there and be like, hey, look, 5 years sober. Yeah, I'll do that. Y'all motherfuckers want to sit there and joke about Charlie Kirk being shot? How many videos are out there of all these fucking retard Democrats cheering and jeering over the fact that Charlie Kirk was murdered? Shot in the neck. You motherfuckers want to sit there and laugh at that and joke about it. Renee Good, who tried to run over and murder a federal agent, and she got shot in self-defense. Alex Preddy, a supposed hospital fucking nurse, brings a gun to a fucking protest riot, tries to murder an ICE agent on site, gets gunned down, and y'all want to fucking freak the fuck out. Y'all want to freak the fuck out over ICE agents. Y'all now carrying fucking AR fucking 15s. Yeah, six years this year. Yeah, 6 years sober. Congratulations, George. But these motherfuckers, and I've heard about it firsthand too. Several people have announced, did videos of it. The Democrats for the last 10 years that were against the Second Amendment, they were against firearms, AR-15s, they should be outlawed, they should be banned. Assault rifles should be banned. Oh, the Second Amendment is out of date. That just dates back to when it was written. Now all of a sudden you motherfuckers believe in the Second Amendment. You got all of these God-fearing Democrats out there, armed to the teeth with guns, even AR-15s. Telling people, this is my neighborhood, I'm protecting my neighborhood, I'm protecting my neighbors from ICE, they're not going to get by. What are you going to do, Chief? What you going to do, Chief? How many rounds you got? Are you going to fucking take on a militia of fucking ICE agents? Are you going to take on the military when they come in? It's shit like this that when it happens in places like Minneapolis and Minnesota, Trump has the right to an executive order for I just had it on the fucking tip of my tongue. Martial law. That's it. I know it started with M. He could execute martial law in all of Minnesota. That would shut Tim Walz's ass up. And Tim Walz, a fucking Democrat, who he would have been there if people were dumb in this past presidential election. If people were retarded and voted for fucking Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Luckily, America fucking woke up and America spoke. We want Trump. Can you imagine what this country would be right fucking now with Kamala and Tim Walz at the helm? This goddamn country would be a fucking complete disaster. It would be a complete disaster. If you walked out your door tomorrow under that regime and you said, I supported Trump, can you imagine somebody being there and arresting you? The part that boggles my mind is that people want illegals here. Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm going to play a video. Let me find a video. I'm glad you brought that up because I almost forgot about it, Hoyt. I'm going to play this. If my browser will let me. Fucking people message me on fucking Facebook and won't leave me alone. I got a video from that same guy. And I want y'all to listen to this. And this guy, he explains it perfectly about why we have illegals here in this country.
Okay, pay attention. Today I made a video explaining why Democrats are so against us enforcing our immigration laws. I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of what that is, and then I want you to see what Democrats are currently doing, or what they're reportedly going to be doing. There are currently 3 things that are not good for Democrats, and it's arguably existential to their political power. Let's talk about electoral votes to begin with. Republicans already start at a higher baseline. When I say higher baseline, I mean closer to 270 electoral votes. Republicans already start closer to that number than Democrats do. There are more safe red states than safe blue states. So before the election even starts, Republicans are already closer to hitting that 270 mark, meaning they have to win less swing states than Democrats do. Now, voter registration trends. Democrats are hemorrhaging voters. Republicans are gaining voters. Independents are gaining a ton of voters at the expense of Democrats. So Republicans already have a structural advantage, okay? Democrats are now losing when it comes to party registration. They're hemorrhaging members of their party. Then on top of that, the 2030 census predicts that all the major Democrat states are going to lose electoral votes and all the major Republican states are going to gain electoral votes. Now, remember, the census counts people, it counts bodies. It does not just count citizens. So when Democrats are harboring a bunch of illegal immigrants in their states, this actually helps them get more federal power because they have more bodies in their state. This is one of the reasons why they make it so hospitable to illegal aliens. Those illegal aliens might not be able to vote, but their children can vote, and those illegal aliens help Democrats get more members of the House and more electoral votes, just for existing. So, first thing, structural advantage for electoral votes already leans Republican. The next thing is census is trending towards more Republican power. On top of that, Democrats are losing members of their party. The best way to combat all of that is immigration. It's to have immigrants in your state. So when the Trump administration is deporting illegal immigrants out of these states, they are quite literally deporting Democrats' future voters, or what they plan to be their future voters, and they're deporting a share of their federal power. So now rumors are coming out that Democratic politicians are going to shut down the government over DHS funding. And one of the things they're talking about demanding are judicial warrants for ICE arrest. This means they would only be able to go after illegal immigrants who have committed a new federal crime after entering the U.S. illegally. State and local crimes would not apply. For example, if an illegal immigrant gets arrested in Minnesota for a DUI crash causing great bodily injury, state crime, and bonds out of jail, ICE would not be able to target him for arrest because there would be no judicial warrant, because that's not a federal crime. ICE would not be able to target people just for being in the country illegally. They would have to wait for a federal crime to be committed. Then a federal judge would have to sign off on probable cause for the arrest. It would absolutely cripple any hope of mass deportations or even widespread immigration enforcement. So Bill Melugin has a contact in ICE, and this contact told him, if we need a judicial warrant for every arrest, we would maybe have 15 arrests in a year in his city. Again, requiring a judicial warrant for ICE arrest would essentially halt ICE arrest happening. So now keep this in mind and think about what I just told you. What Democrats are now trying to do is protect their census leverage with illegal immigrants. They will want to make it as hard as possible to deport people who are in our country illegally, again, because them being here is benefiting Democrats. So if you start to see this start to break headlines and these are the things they're demanding, know that is the game behind it. It's census leverage and about federal power, not because they're being virtuous. That's all I got for now. Don't forget to have a free email.
Census leverage. That's the whole reason behind immigration. Census leverage. The Democrats know they're fucked. They know they're fucked. We've had so many Democrats change their political stances in the last couple years because they know how Democrats are. They know the ridiculousness of what Democrats is doing to this country, is doing to the citizens. And I applaud those former Democrats who have switched their parties to conservative Republican. Republicans got the upper hand. Because all this evil shit that you see right now, all this corruption, is from the Democrats. What's their only biggest game to play right now when it comes to politics is census leverage coming from immigrants. That's why there's so much hatred toward ICE. That's why there's so much hatred toward Trump deporting all these illegal immigrants. Those are the reasons why. And right now we are doing what we can to get rid of these people that do not belong here. Granted, if you're coming from a country that is very volatile, that has a very tyrannical government, and you're trying to get away from the violence, the violent nature of that government, you can come to America, but you have to do it the legal way. There is a process of becoming a legal American. You don't just get on the boat, come here, and find a job somewhere. No, that's not how it's done. You got to do it the right way. That's why we have immigration laws in this country. And it's not just to keep you all out. You know, I know there's a lot of illegals, a lot of different foreigners that come in, and a lot of them are not murderers. A lot of them not rapists or drug lords or junkies or whatever. They're just people that are seeking asylum. They're people seeking freedom away from tyrannical governments. But we have these immigration laws in hand to keep criminals out, to keep pedophiles out, to keep rapists and murderers out, to keep drug lords out. But it's people like these liberals that support this shit. They support it. They support it. Why? Because that is their census narrative. That's their way of winning the elections. That's their way of gaining control. If they have a big group of fucking people through immigration, they have that power. They have that power. And that guy that I just played that video for, that's strong. That's some strong information, that's strong evidence right there. That proves a big point. It does. That's why it's very important that ICE continues to do the job that they're here to do, that they've been doing since 2003 for over 20 years. But what really boggles my mind is the fact that people will sit here and shame Trump for using them, for deporting people. You got kids crying, oh, they took little Jose out of my class. Little Jose. They arrested Jose's father. Let's protest. Let's protest. Maybe Jose's father should have came here legally. Maybe he's a murderer. Maybe he's a fucking rapist. I don't fucking know. That's like when you invite somebody into your home to stay, okay? Do you want to know what kind of person they are? Do you want to know what their background is? You don't want to just invite some random person into your home and then 2 days later your fucking wife has been raped, your kids have been murdered, and you're sitting there in a bathtub with your throat slit. That shit can happen. That's going to be on the next Lifetime Movie Network premiere. Illegal Lunch. And I know I'm laughing, I know I'm joking about it, but that's the shit that happens. That's the kind of shit that happens. You got people out there that are sick like that. Like I said, those innocent young women who lost their lives. They didn't have to lose their lives. They did. Because of these pieces of shit that Biden let in here, that Biden brought into this fucking country. And it continues. I think I got one more clip I can actually play, because I was going through so many clips last night. And there was one that was brought up in Congress, I think, about illegals. I don't know if I could find it here. I'm covering, yeah, let's see, that's not it. Could it be this? Could it be that? I have no fucking idea. What is this video here?
Epstein files. Now, I don't cover this because I...
Oh, that's not it. What's this one here?
Did either of y'all watch the Grammys this week?
Nah, that's not it either. Where the fuck is it at?
The number one biggest takeaway from...
Alright, so there was a video that I had on here. And it was a video that was done in Congress, I think. And they were talking about a 12-year-old boy. Mind you guys, a 12-year-old boy whose life was taken by an illegal immigrant. And nothing was done about it. A police officer whose life was nearly taken by an illegal immigrant. I watched footage today on Fox News on Facebook. An illegal immigrant in a vehicle not only tried to evade ICE officers, but tried to run them over. When's this shit gonna end? Y'all want it to end when ICE is obliterated. I want this shit to end when all these motherfuckers are deported out of my fucking country. Remember 3 or 4 years ago when Biden flooded all these fucking illegals into the country? When Biden flooded them all into the country? And you were telling us, hey, we want you to house these people. Open your homes up to these people. Let them into your house. Okay. How many people went to some Democrats out there that support Biden and Kamala? And they were like, well, here's Jose, here's Juan, here's Julio. They need a home to go to. And them motherfuckers are like, wait a minute. What's this here? No, I can't house them. Well, why not? You are all for housing illegals, right? Well, no, I can't do it. Why can't you? Why can't you? Democrats want you, the hard taxpayers, to house these motherfuckers. But they don't want to do it. They don't want a single immigrant in their fucking kingdom. How about that no talent bitch, Billie Eilish? Let's talk about her for a brief second. Yeah, remember her quote at the fucking Grammys? When that started, I was like, really, man? Yeah, exactly, yeah. Nobody wants to do anything about the homeless rate, you know? But no, immigrants, they need houses. They need a home to go into. They need a nice, warm, cooked meal. Yeah, okay. But let's take a look at Billie Eilish. I might strike a nerve with some people. Some people might be, yeah, I like Billie Eilish's music. I like her music. Okay, like her music. That's you. She came out on the Grammys recently and said, we are all on stolen land. There is nobody illegal on stolen land. Stolen land, huh? Last us true Americans who got an actual education in school from actual textbooks, this land was discovered and conquered and purchased. But these motherfuckers still want to sit there and say it was stolen land. The same motherfuckers whose ancestors owned slaves, who brought slaves into this country, whose ancestors or somebody related to them or whatever of their same political party, who founded the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah, those people. They want to start up with this is stolen land. It was stolen. It was conquered. Sadly, yes, it was conquered or purchased from the Native Americans. But don't give me that stolen land bullshit. But yet when somebody turned that fucking pendulum right back around on her and said, hey, what about your $14 million mansion? That's on stolen land. What was her response? Well, I'm gonna sue you for slander. I'm gonna sue you. Stay the fuck away from me. Don't say another word from me. Okay, who are you gonna use? Melanie? Are you gonna use Edward Hubbard's lawyer? Do you want Hubbard's lawyer? Do you want the name of Hubbard? Do you want his phone number? How about we house some illegals in her mansion? You know what she was saying? Nope, not allowed. Get the fuck out of here. Democrats like to play that fucking game. As long as it's not them, everything's okay. They don't give a fuck. But when you fucking sit there and say, hey, why don't you fucking house them? Oh, you're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. Billie Eilish, what a fucking joke. Bitch looks like a goddamn fucking gothic looking lesbian. She's like a fucking gothic dyke. Fuck her. Her music's fucking garbage to me anyway. Everybody says, "Oh, she's a talented little artist." Oh, she's got a movie coming out. Yeah, let's see how many fucking let's see how that movie grosses out after it comes out. Let's see how many people actually go and see it. See how many people actually go and see your movie that's directed by James Cameron. Oh, you got one of the biggest names in the fucking movie industry, James Cameron. Holy shit, Mr. Terminator and Alien himself, Mr. Avatar and Titanic. You got him to film a fucking movie about your fucking concert in life. Oh my God, miss. Oh, this is stolen land. Don't say anything about my mansion. It's not on stolen land. Yeah, okay. Grammys were a joke too, but I ain't got much to say about it because I haven't watched it. I don't know much about it. I don't really give a fuck about it. Same thing with the Super Bowl. I will play a couple videos for you though. Let's see. Let's get into the last topic. And this is a big trigger for Democrats right now. A big trigger. Let's play this.
They told you Donald Trump was part of the problem, but the newly unsealed records from 2026 says that he was the first one trying to take Epstein's empire down. Look, it says right here, Trump told blank that he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present and Trump got the hell out of there. Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out that they were investigating Epstein. Ooh, that destroys the left's narrative. This was in 2006, way before the mainstream media cared. Trump was one of the very first people to call the police. He didn't just call, he sounded the alarms when others were still taking private jet rides to his island. It says here, according to the FBI's own interview with the former police chief, Trump told law enforcement that Ghislaine Maxwell was an evil operative. Thank goodness for stopping him. Everyone has known that he's been doing this. Trump said that. He wanted the truth out. And what are we seeing? While names like Clinton are being linked to skinny dipping, Trump's name shows that he got the hell out of there as soon as he saw something wrong. He banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago in 2007 while the rest of Palm Beach stayed silent. The media won't give this the 24/7 coverage that it deserves because it completely destroys their narrative. They want you to think that he was one of them, but these documents prove that he was the whistleblower. He knew Maxwell was evil, and he told the cops to focus on her. The Epstein files are finally unsealed, and the truth is favoring the 47th president.
But didn't the Democrats say that his name is in the Epstein files? Didn't all the liberals, all the hardcore liberals, didn't they say that his name was supposedly in the Epstein files, that he was a rapist and he was a fucking sex offender? Listen to this one.
The number one biggest takeaway from the Epstein files is Donald Trump was totally exonerated in 3 million documents. Not a whiff of wrongdoing.
Hold on. She said 3 million documents. There's millions of documents in the Epstein files. In 3 million documents.
Not a single credible allegation. Now, you might have heard the mainstream media and the left repeating this allegation that Trump, a 13-year-old.
Well, what was blurred out there? And I hate it when people do videos like that for TikTok where they got to blur out certain words because the algorithm, it doesn't want you to say certain things. But let me tell you something. Abuse is a word. Epstein is a name and a word. Kill is a word. Rape is a word. I don't give a fuck what these AI algorithms say. They're fucking words. They're in the dictionary. They have a meaning. Fuck the AI algorithm. Let's continue.
But if you actually read the documents, the FBI, when they were in their investigative phase, when they were looking into Jeffrey Epstein, they opened a tip line. Anybody all around the world, welcome to call in tips, allegations, accusations, and the FBI investigated the tips and accusations that were sent in via this tip line, but anybody in the world, any nutcase could call in any accusation. And most of the tips, as it usually goes with tip lines, were found to be non-credible. They were found to be rumors or gossip or secondhand or just lies, just inventions. And that's what that allegation against Trump. The allegations in the tip line were not official findings from the FBI. It was a tip line that was open to the public, and these tips were deemed to be non-credible. The FBI dismissed them as false. In 3 million pages of Epstein documents, President Trump has once again been totally exonerated. Even Jeffrey Epstein himself, by the way, who hated President Trump, wrote to so-called journalist Michael Wolff and said Trump never got a massage. Totally exonerated once again. Media knows this. They know that what they're repeating is a lie. They just hate you and they don't care that they're lying. They want to smear Trump, even if it means that they have to lie to do it.
So even though there is proof, hardcore proof now that the files are being released, and of course there are still some Reddit files out there with certain names and such, you're not going to see Trump's name on them, people. You're going to start seeing more and more elected members of the government. You're going to see Hollywood celebrities. You're going to see all kind of shit. But the media was only focused on one fucking person, Donald Trump, because they hate him. Trump is a fucking threat to their democracy. He is a threat to their rhetoric. He's a threat to their agenda. I'm going to play one more for you guys, part of this.
She says, it's not true that he flirted with me. Donald Trump never flirted with me. He didn't partake in any sex with us. And then they say, where did you meet him? And she's Virginia Giuffre, at Mar-a-Lago. And my dad and him, I wouldn't say they were friends, but my dad knew him and they would talk. Not all the time, but when they saw each other. Have you ever been in Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein's presence with one another? Answer, Virginia Giuffre, no.
Right.
So they asked her about this when she was on her own testifying.
Right.
So she would have had every quote-unquote incentive to come out forward if something were true.
Right.
She did not.
And it looks like here these emails are just coming from Michael Wolff was putting all these things out, and he was really trying.
This is the next, so Epstein, so Wolff is the next one. So that was the first email in 2011.
Right.
Where it's just Epstein and Virginia Giuffre, but you can see it seems like he's trying to get Donald Trump rolled up into the investigation.
Clearly.
But then you go back to the actual victim. They did ask her about Donald Trump.
Yep.
And so he's saying, so Epstein, because he doesn't know what the police are asking, they're saying, wait a minute, how come they didn't talk to Trump? Well, they asked her about Trump, and she said Trump wasn't involved.
There you go. It's over.
So
what else is there?
If you're running an investigation, you can't just go if someone tells you this guy wasn't involved. I mean, sure, you can go and talk to him, and we do know that Trump actually went to lawyers that were running this and said, please let me know whatever I can do to help you with Jeffrey Epstein, because I'm more than willing to tell you whatever. He'd already kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago.
I think some of those investigators went out of their way to say he was actually the most cooperative.
Right.
You got the phone and said, like, hey, how can I help you guys? What can I do? If you need anything, call me. You got my number.
Clearly just wrong here. But but on the merits, this is the real question to say, because he said they spent hours together, right?
Yeah, that's the allegation.
Pulling it up again. Spent hours at my home with him, and she said, no, we didn't.
Right.
So,
and she had no reason to lie.
So right there, and...
This is what, 2015?
That was 2011.
2011.
So I think what he was trying to do is, again, just get Trump rolled up in it so that, if you're coming after me, you got to go after him. And, and that obviously makes it much more high profile. It gets Trump's money involved, et cetera, et cetera. Then you got 2015. That's where Michael Wolff starts sending these emails. And Michael Wolff is this, he's kind of a gossip blogger who just writes books. And I've met him, I've seen him around, and I see what he does. Yeah, he just takes rumors and he takes Oppo and he just prints it. She said.
So what more proof do you guys want? What more proof do you guys want to say that Trump was on Epstein Island? Trump was a whistleblower. Trump blew the whistle. Trump knew exactly back in 2006 what was going on with Epstein Island. He was the first one out of there. He called the police. He told them that there needs to be an investigation on Jeffrey Epstein. And whatever her fucking name was, the operative for Jeffrey Epstein. Trump kicked the motherfucker out of Mar-a-Lago. All that shit is in the Epstein files that was just released, and the Democrats are fumed. The Democrats hate the fact they spent the last 5-6 years. All right, they spent the last 5 or 6 years condemning Trump, saying that he was in the Epstein files. They spent the last 5 or 6 years condemning him, saying we want to see it. We want to see it. We want to see the file. Well, let me read the file to you. I got it saved here somewhere on Twitter, I think. Hold on. What's this? Oh, that was for the Super Bowl. That was Yeah, that woman was watching the Super Bowl. She was like, "What the fuck is that? That's not the halftime show." Yeah, she was pissed about that. But I have the file. Here's the file right here. I'm going to read it to you guys. I gotta really zoom in with my eyes. My eyes ain't that great right now. So, reading this file, guys, this was an interview of, and the name is redacted. This was from October 18th, 2019, page 404. And it starts off with, "Knew Epstein was disgusting. Trump said Maxwell was Epstein's operative. She is evil and to focus on her. Trump told blank that he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump got the hell out of there. Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out that they were investigating Epstein. No one could explain how Epstein made his money. They knew he worked for Bear Stearns. Blank was told that Epstein was kind of a technical guy that would make it happen, but you didn't want to know how. None of the victims were PDPB spoke with, said that they had sexual contact with men other than Epstein while in Epstein's orbit. Blank had one time went out screaming. Prince Andrew was a fixture in Palm Beach and he had no protection while there. Blank has done interviews in the past with blank. People/victims thought the PBPD was paid off by Epstein, which was why blank went and did these interviews. He felt he needed to defend PBPD. An interior designer told the PBPD that rooms in the Virgin Islands had been decorated for teenage girls. Blank contacted the Virgin Island Police Department, but they were not helpful. In the end, when Epstein had turned himself into plea to the misdemeanor, blank was not notified and found out from the newspaper. So there is the biggest piece of evidence right there that came out that proved that Donald Trump was exonerated from Epstein Island. He's exonerated. He was there, but he turned him in. Now, do y'all want to see some more about the Epstein files? Well, let's see. So I shared a lot of this I shared on Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter, links down below in the description section. I got this stuff shared on my Twitter page. This was from a page called Mr. Pool. I reposted it a couple days ago. Trump released the Epstein files 10 days ago. Here's the body count. Lord Mandelson. Whoever Lord Mandelson, it looks like somewhere over in Great Britain. Under criminal investigation, police raided his properties. Prince Andrew, stripped of royal protection, fled Royal Lodge. Prince William and Kate broke silence for the first time, deeply concerned. Translation, terrified. Norway's ambassador to the U.S. resigned. Norwegian crown princess publicly apologized for the Epstein ties. Now over here in America, Brad Karp, chairman of Paul Wise, one of America's most powerful law firms, resigned. Larry Summers resigned from OpenAI board. Oh shit. OpenAI. Chappell Roan left her talent agency after CEO's Epstein email surfaced. Ghislaine Maxwell, dragged before Congress, pleaded the Fifth, begged for clemency, denied. Steve Bannon, charges dismissed. The man they jailed for fighting back is free. And in 17 days, Bill Clinton under oath on camera, February 27th. Hillary Clinton under oath on camera, February 26th. One man did this. Not a committee, not a movement, not a hashtag. One relentless man who they told you to hate. The dominoes are falling, and he's only getting started. And there was even something I saw this morning where they said that Hillary Clinton might be going to jail for that shit. Hillary Clinton might be going to jail. Maybe old Bill, too. Here's another one for you guys. Another Epstein bombshell I shared this morning. Democrat Representative Stacey Plaskett was not only texting Epstein during congressional hearing. She went to his island. In this file that I'm about to read to you, this is an email. Email was sent from Leslie Groff. This was from Monday, May 1st, 2017, to Jeffrey Epstein. Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett is asking if she could meet with you face-to-face sometime soon. She will be in the VI all next week, then in New York on the 12th for the weekend. She says she could get herself to, I guess, whatever that's supposed to be. It looks like a hashtag, looks like an emoji. Get herself to blank at the end of any weekend, usually. However, if she can't eat with you face to face, she would love to have a conversation with you over the next day or two. Please advise if we should set up a call or a meeting soon. Now here's another one. This is from Ann Rodriguez, sent August 15th, 2014. Hi, Anna. Just want to make sure, did you send Stacey Plaskett instructions on how to get to J.E.'s Island on Monday, August 18th? She has an appointment with him at 11 a.m. on the island. It is possible Erica Kellerhaus comes as well, trying to find out. And then, of course, following that, island manager Ann Rodriguez, boat captain Carlos Rodriguez, and such. On August 12, 2014 at 4 p.m., so-and-so wrote, could you come to see Jeffrey on the island at 11 a.m. on Monday, August 18th? Erica, will you be coming as well? So there's another one in the fishbowl right there, guys. But it continues. Who here knows who Hakeem Jeffries is? Yeah, this guy, another one who's condemning Trump. Yeah, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries solicited money from child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein in 2013 after Epstein was a known pedophile. Looking into this right here, this was an email sent May 7th, 2013. Begin forward message from Lisa Rossi, May 7th, 2017. Dear Jeffrey, we are thrilled to announce that we are working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, one of the rising stars in the New York, look at that, guys, New York congressional delegation, sometimes referred to as Brooklyn's Barack. He looks like fucking Barack. He is a staunch supporter of President Obama and a progressive voice for the people in New York City. NY1 did a profile piece about his work on the vitally important budget and judiciary committees in Washington. You can watch the video here or read the text below. Hakeem is committed to electing a Democratic majority in 2014 and is encouraging his friends to participate in the DCCC/DSCC fundraising dinner with President Obama this coming Monday night. Shoot us an email or give us a call at, and I'll put that phone number out there, 212-531-2858. I wonder if that phone number still works. If you would like to get involved with the dinner, or if you would like to get an opportunity to get to know Hakeem better, he is an impressive guy and who will be a progressive voice in New York politics for years to come. Thanks, Darren Rigger, Lisa Rossi, and Walter Sweat. And then here's a follow-up email coming from April 29th of the same year. Hakeem Jeffries is only about 4 months into the freshman year of Congress, but he's already positioning himself for a long career in Washington. NY1's Michael Scottio filed the following report. If you're looking to knock Hakeem Jeffries off message, you won't get very far. There's a hip-hop song, Every Day I'm Hustling, and I kind of feel that way down here in Washington, Jeffrey says, in a positive manner, of course. So there's another one right there. Was there another? Oh, guess what, guys? Remember old Chuck Schumer? Yeah, Chuck Schumer, the guy that was let's see, what'd you say, Hoy? I'm sorry. Still kind of shocking that Bill Clinton was involved, considering how popular he was. Yeah, he was popular during that 8 years. He was. But here's a big shocker. Everybody, y'all remember everybody's favorite Chuck Schumer, the guy responsible for shutting down the government this past season? Remember the longest shutdown in history? What was it, a whole fucking month? Mr. Chuck Schumer himself, the main reason why the fucking government was shut down, the reason why this motherfucker would not budge, he was all for illegal immigrants. Guess what? This was reported from the New York Post. Schumer got thousands in donations from Jeffrey Epstein. This was published and updated July 10th, 2019. Chuck Schumer's in on it, guys. Good old Chucky, Mr. Let's shut the government down because we can't get our way because we're a bunch of big crybaby bitches. Yeah. I was trying to find more fucking people to put that on there, but you know what? It's, let's see. Because I'm always sharing stuff on Twitter. You guys can read that firsthand. But yeah. Or how about this little tidbit right here? I'm about to play this. And this is coming from Epstein survivor Allie Carter. And yes, her name is in the files. And she's another one that can prove that Trump was not guilty of anything.
I never was tortured by Trump. And if I was, I damn sure don't know about it. But I was never tortured by Trump. That's not the point. But the fact that some of you are mad at me because I won't say that is telling. Why are we just having a conversation just about Trump like he's the only, we said we saw his name and all this stuff. Okay, because if it was, all of it was what it says it was, why wasn't that information out in 2016? When he was running for election, they drug out everything on that man. Why didn't they pull out that ball? But let's just knock politics off the table for a second. If you are just focused on Trump's name, you do not get it. We're talking about children. We're talking about children. Children!
She has a point. She does have a point. And yes, this is a Epstein survivor. She was never tortured, abused, or victimized by him. But yet you got these liberals out there with true blue Trump derangement syndrome, who want to pin something on Donald Trump so fucking bad. Yep, that old fucking Saurus Rex has to go. Yes, he does, Oip. But this woman, she mentioned a very valid point in the end. The whole thing was about kids. Epstein had so many fucking people involved with sex trafficking, pedophilia, having sex with kids and shit. And they wanted to pin this thing on Donald Trump because his name was in the files. His name was in the files. That was the only thing these motherfuckers cared about looking at was Donald Trump's name. And as she said, if they were so fucking goddamn worried about Donald Trump in the fucking files, why didn't they put it out there in 2016? Why didn't they put it out there in 2020? And then you got all these little liberals out here that are like, oh, they were too busy investigating. They were investigating the files. They were still getting them out there. But yet you dumb motherfuckers sat there and said that Trump was in them, right? You said Trump was in them. That was the only fucking name that you were so worried about. But now that it's come out, proven that Trump didn't do jack shit, he blew the whistle. He turned Epstein in. He reported on all that shit. And everybody's in fucking panic. And guess what? More and more of the files are still coming out, but it's not looking good for the Democrats. Oh no, it's not looking good for the Democrats' narrative. Oh no. The Clintons, I'm pretty sure they're going to be in prison soon. The Obamas, hopefully. But how many people are left on the Epstein list? How many people are on the Epstein list? Who all is on the Epstein list? Now, I had a couple videos of that. Let me see real quick if I still do. I might not. Because I was finding all this stuff through Facebook. I don't know if I have any of it. Let me see here. I got a lot of videos talking about the Grammys and the Super Bowl and shit that I was going to share, but I'm running out of time, guys. I really am. I'm trying to find something that has... Oh, there's a video about the... somebody complaining about... Well, talking about that supposed video that supposedly Trump put out there. Hey, let's play this one right here. This is one of my favorites. God damn it. Somebody with the fucking messages, man. Shut up.
Epstein files. Big dump. Todd Blanche came out, the Assistant Attorney General, to explain it all. You know what's so funny is Thomas Massey makes a little snarky remark saying, well, it's not a hoax. No, Mr. Massey. It is a hoax as it relates to President Trump. President Trump's not part of the Epstein files. Epstein files. Big dump. Todd Blanche came out, the Assistant Attorney General, to explain it all. You know what's so funny is Thomas Massey makes a little snarky remark saying, well, it's not a hoax. No, Mr. Massey. It is a hoax as it relates to President Trump. President Trump's not part of the Epstein files. Epstein files. Big dump. Todd Blanche came out, the Assistant Attorney General, to explain it all.
Yeah. There's that. Now if I can find this other video here. I know I got them. Somebody listing out names of who all's in the Epstein files. Here we go. This guy is doing a couple lists. This is from A to H. I want y'all to listen to this.
I'm going to start with the letter A. In the letter A, we got Al Gore, okay? And this is the Epstein list, okay? We're not going to be distracted. We want to keep the same energy because it is wrong that these victims that has been, violated, can't get their day in the sun or their day in the light.
Now, mind you guys, these are names from the Epstein files. I haven't looked them up myself yet to see where they're at, but people have seen the Epstein files from what has been released so far, so these are names that are listed in the Epstein files.
Because of all these grand distractions that's going on. So Al Gore, Alec Baldwin, Anderson Cooper, Anthony Weiner, Barack Obama.
Oh, big one right there, guys. Barack Obama in the Epstein files. Yeah.
Ben Affleck, Bernie Sanders, Beyonce Knowles, Bill Clinton, Cher, David Koch, Ed Buck, Hillary Clinton. I'm going to start with the letter A.
Let's move on to the next one, J through M.
That's crazy. And I'm going to continue. So, Epstein list. I just finished off with Hillary Clinton. We're going to start back with Jim Carrey.
You know what? That one kind of hurts me a little bit to know that Jim Carrey's name is in that list. Canadian-born Jim Carrey is on the list, the Epstein list. That kind of hurts me. It really does. I'm like, no, not Jim.
Joe Biden.
Oh, that's no shock. Joe Biden? Joe Biden's on the Epstein list. Oh, John Cusack.
John Legend, John Podesta, Joy Behar, Kathy Griffin, Katy Perry.
Oh, shit. Katy Perry's on the Epstein list. Oh, shit. How many of y'all going to be burning some records tonight?
Kevin Spacey, Kristen Gillibrand, Lady Gaga.
Oh, fuck. And now it all comes full circle. Lady Gaga's on there now, too.
Madonna, Meryl Streep, Michelle Obama. That's crazy. And
God damn. Lady Gaga, Madonna, Jim Carrey. Holy shit. Yeah, Al Gore doesn't surprise me. Yep. Facebook notifications. Yeah, I know, man. I got somebody who's a buddy of mine. He just fucking messaged me text after text. Well, I'm going to fucking read them later on. I'm like, because once I start reading them, he'll just send me one right after the other. I'm just like, nope, I ain't got fucking time to read all that shit. I did see some other videos of the other names, but I'm gonna have to go.
That's
to this
crazy.
Guy. Let me go to this guy's page here because I didn't save them all. Let me go to this guy's page. All right, so let's see here. Epstein files. All right, here's O through Z.
Chris Tucker's not highlighted, but I bet you he on here. Where you at? Right here, Chris Tucker.
Oh man, not Chris Tucker. No, not the Chris Tucker.
You know, Oprah is clearly, you know, Weinstein and all these individuals.
Yep,
they with
Oprah.
it, you know. And then we know, and President Trump confirmed this. He said Prince Andrew, and not only Prince Andrew, Prince Charles, okay, Quentin Tarantino, Rachel Maddow, Rihanna, Rob Reiner.
Of
He's on the
course.
list next to Robert De Niro,
Yep.
Robert Downey Jr., Sarah Silverman, Seth Green, Stephen Colbert, Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks, and Whoopi Goldberg. Chris Tucker's not highlighted.
Tom Hanks doesn't surprise me at all. Yep, that's how it goes. Tom Hanks doesn't surprise me at all. And it's funny that he mentioned Tom Hanks because I said this last night while I was on a TikTok panel. And I was talking to a liberal who was all for the Bad Bunny shit and all. And I was like, okay, let's go back and talk about the Epstein files. I was like, okay, so you support everything that Bad Bunny's doing, you know, spewing out all this fucking hatred on live TV and shit in Spanish. All right, let's go back to the Epstein files. And, okay, Tom Hanks, actor Tom Hanks. Let's say you like Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks' name is in the Epstein files. And now that you know that, are you going to continue to watch Tom Hanks movies and support him? And would you know that this liberal, he had nothing else to say but to try to insult everybody there who supports Trump. Wow. God damn it. Will fucking people leave me alone? Jesus Christ. Uh-oh, here we go. Epstein files Jay-Z. Jay-Z deleted his Instagram?
Jay-Z, you know, they trying to get Jigga Man, okay? And this is what they do. They build you and they destroy you, okay? That number 8, build and destroy. Just think about it. Build and destroy, but we're going to build. So now that they're, you know, taking down, you know, this whole industry that they put in front of us. Jay-Z, you know, they
So wait a minute. Jay-Z took everything down on his Instagram. That sounds oddly familiar to me. Yeah, I know. Seth Green, that was another one that caught me by surprise. But damn, he took down his Instagram. That reminds me of somebody, doesn't it? In case you all didn't hear about this, recently Bad Bunny, after the Super Bowl, he took everything, every post that he had on Instagram down. Every post on Bad Bunny's Instagram is gone. What does he have to hide? Did he know that something was going to happen? Did he know that there was going to be something done about his performance, about the show? Is there something something's very shady right there. Let's continue a little bit with Jay-Z.
he said he'd been rocking with Beyonce or been knowing Beyonce on record since she's been recording. And to my understanding, she's been recording since 14 years old. Now, you know, it is what it is, but Beyonce didn't complain. He said he'd been rocking with.
Everything falls into place, people. You know, this is, you know, him being with Beyonce. Beyonce was on Epstein Island. Everything goes back far. It was either Epstein or Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever, guys. Where's P. Diddy now? He's in prison. Where's R. Kelly at? In prison. There's something I want to look up real quick. It has something to do with R. Kelly. So, let me see here. I'm not looking for a video. God, everything's fucking popping up, man. What the fuck? Alright, so there's something I'm looking up. And I was talking to Nicole, guys. I was talking to Nicole about this yesterday. And she either doesn't remember this or she never heard about it. I'm going to read it to you, babe. I'm getting ready to talk about this one thing real quick. Remember I was talking about yesterday about R. Kelly? R. Kelly, this was from 3 years ago. He's facing justice of a tape of him who allegedly sexually abused and urinated on a 14-year-old girl. Remember I said that there was a video of him peeing on a girl? Yeah. This is way back when. 14 years ago, he was acquitted for producing child sex abuse images in spite of a horrific video that allegedly showed him sexually assaulting and urinating on a 14-year-old girl. R. Kelly, guys, another pedophile. Hell, he was even close to Aaliyah before Aaliyah died. Aaliyah was young. Aaliyah was young. I think he was set to marry her. He was going to marry her. He had a relationship with Aaliyah, but she was damn young. R. Kelly was a fucking adult. He must have been in his fucking 20s or something, you know, when he did all that shit, you know? His song, I Wish, you know, for years I thought that song was for his mom or something. That song was for Aaliyah. It's still a good song. Don't get me wrong. I like his song, I Wish. I always have, but, you know, R. Kelly, another pedophile. Beyonce, pedophile supporter. Jay-Z, same thing. Everything either leaks to P. Diddy or it links to Epstein in a certain way. Everything is all coming together to come crumbling down all at once, people. That's what's happening. And I know when Mike was on the show a while back, we were talking about P. Diddy. Other people told me the same thing. They got P. Diddy. Once they get P. Diddy, the entire foundation is going to start to collapse. Weren't the allegations on him going back to 2005 at least? Oh, before that. It was before that, I think. Yeah, he had a bunch of allegations. You know, he was doing music videos and shit. You know, he was doing videos, you know, having sex with kids, I think. You know, like, they were all underage. They were all in their teenage, you know, their teen years. They were like maybe 15, 16, 17, something like that. But yeah, it goes back to, I think, yeah, before 2005. Yeah. But everything falls together. Everything falls together. Everything falls back to P. Diddy. Everything falls back to Jeffrey Epstein. Celebrities, music artists, and such. Everything is in these files. It's all come out. But yet the media and the Democrats are only focused on one name. Donald Trump. Who, yes, he's in the files. His name's in the files. Elon Musk was right about that. But he was he was the whistleblower. He was mentioned as the guy who saw what was going on and said, wait the fucking minute. Let me get the fuck out of here and mention this to somebody. Trump got out of there. He banned Epstein and all his fucking cronies from Mar-a-Lago. He turned them in. Trump is exonerated. And the Democrats are all pissed off. And I fucking love it. All this information, it's just unfolding day by day. And I see it all firsthand, and I fucking love it. And then there's, what's this? What's her name? Ilhan Omar just openly called for the execution of President Trump on X? Yeah, she must be removed from Congress. Oh, shit. So now we got death threats toward our president from people like this. Ilhan Omar tweeted out, the leader of the Pedophile Protection Party is trying to deflect attention from his name being all over the Epstein files. At least in Somalia, they execute pedophiles, not elect them. Well, his name is on the files, you stupid cunt. But he was the one who blew the whistle on him, you dumb cunt. You know what I say? Fuck Somalia and fuck anybody who supports Somalia. Fuck them all. How about those apples? And since we're running out of time here, guys, I got things to do, got places to go. But I will say one last time, because I know, Hoyt, you joined in pretty late, I think. I don't know if you were here when I announced it. But to anybody who has stuck around this long, if you guys have just came in halfway through, sad news if you did not hear it yet. James Vanderbeek, the Dawson from the 90s, passed away today, age 48, from cancer. The Dawson is gone. I bring that up again because I just see it here. TMZ shared it out on Twitter. James Vanderbeek has died, 48 years old, from cancer. So if you guys are Dawson's Creek fans who probably want to binge watch that tonight, maybe I'll be watching something else. I only know the R. Kelly thing because, yeah, Trapped in a Closet. Dude, there's like fucking 30 episodes of Trapped in the Closet. I've probably made it through like 10 or 11 of them before I gave up. I was like, dude, fuck this. I'm not watching all of these. Because it got confusing after like episode, 8 or something like that? Because you got all these ex-lovers and current lovers coming in and shit. Oh, fuck that. But I'm going to head on out of here, guys. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you all for coming in today, checking out today's episode. You don't know who James Vanderbeek is? Oh, look him up, dude. It's okay. It's all good. Not a whole lot of people. Probably not a whole lot of people of Gen Z generation probably don't know who he is. But yeah, he's somebody from the millennial generation. But yeah, so anyway, guys, this episode will be downloaded and it will be uploaded on our Rumble channel. If you guys are on Rumble, if you haven't followed us yet on Rumble, go ahead and do so. Link should be down below. Check us out on Rumble. And of course, the stream will be up here on YouTube as well. We do have content coming out for the channel here soon. More content as well. I'm gonna try to do a game stream, maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. I know this weekend is Valentine's Day weekend. I'm gonna spend it with my love, my wife, so don't expect anything Saturday, guys. Sorry, but it's Valentine's Day. If you guys got a love out there, if you guys got somebody out there you want to spend time with, go do it. Valentine's Day weekend is coming up, and stay away from Bad Bunny. But thank you guys for watching today. Leave a like, subscribe if you made it to the end of the show today. Thank you for supporting us, and until next time, guys, stay tuned in.
What we do here is go back.